Uncle Jonathan was once a little child. He went to school today. My president, Uncle Oyedepo, was once a little child. He went to school today. A great minister, Auntie Okonjo-Iweala, was once a little child. She went to school today. Ambassador, education is the key. Education is the power. Education is the key. Education is the secret. Education is the key.
The Ministry of Basic Education, in collaboration with the World Bank, eBase Africa, HIDEX, seeks to encourage the performance of schools through the use of financial incentives.
Me like teacher, I go like for come for school every day, meet up plenty pikin dem for class, where I go fit teach am. Education is the key.
Chai, now which kind thing for this country so no? Every day they shoot gun. Every day they shoot gun. I go really like me my pikin go school, come back safe. God help us.
I want to go to school and come back safe to my mother. I wish to become a doctor one day. Education is the key.
Man will level lep. Na person way is a big book. Go chop tomorrow and chop fine. Oh.
Education is the key. Education is the knowledge. Education. Education is the key. 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 Uncle Rochas was once a little child. He went to school today. He's my governor. Brother Ima Okore was once a little child. He went to school today. He's my minister. Auntie Dora Kuyili was once a little child. She went to school today. Ambassador. I love to go to school to learn to read and write. I love to go to school. I want to be a doctor. I love to go to school to learn to read and write. I love to go to school. I want to be.
Yes, still up Bakwa FM. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this other edition of the program. We are talking education. We are talking education, and we want to remind you that the eBase delegates are already here. We are going to talk education today, and we are talking about financial incentives that are aimed at enhancing the safety and the security in our schools. I'm surrounded by some 3 women who are going to make sure that they give us the truth about the whole issue on this. Let me begin with. I think I should better go around again, as obvious. Yes, madam. Just as brief as possible. Your names.
Madam Okwen Shanice. I'm from eBase.
Okay.
I am a supervisor.
Supervisor, Madam Shanice, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning to everyone. I want to seize this opportunity to thank everyone listening to this program again. I am Madam Odenjang, PBF Supervisor for Boyo.
Okay. That is Madam Jang. At least we've been getting that voice for the past few weeks also. And then to my left, Madam.
I'm Dr. Gladys Focho, and I'm part of the project with the eBase.
Okay. Part of the project with the eBase, with the eBase. Okay, we'll catch our break just and then briefly, and we'll come back and we'll continue.
Education, education is the key.
we go to the crux of the matter. We just want to find out from Shanice. Let me begin with Shanice. And Shanice, how can financial incentives help to enhance safety and security in our schools? Shanice?
Good morning once more to everyone listening to this program. So for the past 4 to 5 years in the Northwest and Southwest regions, safety and security has been a really tacky issue, especially within the past 2 years, given the circumstances we have had with COVID-19. And this has brought a lot of discomfort or unwellness or unsteadiness in schools. So one of the things we noticed that schools are facing trouble with is maintaining good hygiene and sanitation with the pupils. Given COVID-19 measures, we have to make sure that they have water to wash their hands, soap, everything to make sure that hygienic conditions are maintained. So when I talk about safety and security, I mean safety has to deal with the entire hygienic situation with the children, their health in school, that is their general health and well-being. When I go to security, I'm talking about their surrounding, their environment, especially given the insecurity nowadays. Do they have security guards? Do they have a fence? Do they have measures put in place to make sure that if there is a threat, if there is an imminent threat on the school, they have strategies that they have put in place that can help guide the pupils and keep them safe. So this is what safety and security to PBF means.
Okay. Now I'm still with you, Shanice. We are talking about you have actually elaborated quite a good number of issues there, like the cleanliness of that particular area. Let's come back to this whole issue. Yes, we are talking of the existence of this contingency response plan. Throw more light on that. Is that you, or should let me give it to Njang?
Okay, thank you for that question. When we talk about the existence of a contingency and response plan, we are talking like having a plan B. You're having a plan B of the security, that if there is, in case if there is an attack, what are you going to do? Like having an alert system. Are you going to, like a head teacher in your school, are you going to have are you having a whistle that you will blow? Are you having but a bell? Have you put in place a bell that you will ring, that when you ring the bell, they will know that there is danger? Or is there a sign that you have made the pupils to know in school that this is what, if in case of an attack, I will do? That is what a contingency and response plan mean. Yeah.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, just to beef up what she said, because of these problems that are imminent, it is important that when schools are, preparing their school improvement plans, these plans should be put in place, to be able to combat or to fight, issues regarding COVID, issues regarding insecurity or attacks from school. So when we say contingency, we are talking about the plan that is put well ahead of time, and this should come, during the school improvement or annual plan of the school by the head teachers, as she says.
Yes. How far are we ensuring that all this we are thinking of, it's just on paper? How far do we ensure that they are put in place?
That is the whole essence of the project, because we are having meetings and trainings with the head teachers and administrations of the school, even with the delegates and so on, to educate them on what they are supposed to do, given their own local context. What can they put in place with regards to combating COVID, with regards to combating maybe attacks from whoever, or keeping the children safe, both in terms of hygiene and sanitation, like Free said, and also in terms of safety in cases of attack.
Okay. Interesting. I'll come back to you, Jiang, this concept of hygiene and sanitation being implemented in schools, how feasible and how plausible have it been so far?
Okay.
So far that you've been in the field.
Okay. So we have been in the field. We have seen that it is working, that they are responding to this safety and security, that making sure that the children or the pupils have a good sanitation, the good sanitation and security put in place for the pupils. It is working because when you go to schools, you see the schools that were not having buckets because of this project, they are now having buckets. Yes, to wash, to make sure when the children wants to eat, they make sure that they wash their hands before eating. When children if there is an attack, the schools have measures put in place for the children to have a very good environment, an enabling environment for them to succeed. So it is working.
Having buckets is one thing.
Yeah.
Making good use of them is another thing. The buckets at times I'm not so certain, but you may go to a particular school and you discover that the bucket, they are the same water you came and gave in January, in March, the same water is still there. How far are we sure that they are making good use of them?
Okay, if I can come in here, that is why this time around, EBASE, in the context of this project, we are insisting that there should be a plan, which if you don't have a plan, then you just do things haphazardly. So if you plan to, let me say at the beginning of the year, if you are making your annual plan of the school, you plan to buy buckets, you should plan on how to get water, whether there's a tap, if there's no tap, you plan how you get water from streams, you plan how the children are going to use this water, how often, and then you communicate it to the children. For example, you can tell the children, immediately you come to school, you wash your hands before going to class. I'm just giving examples.
Yes.
Or you tell them, during break, before break, you wash your hands before you go and eat. After eating, you wash your hands before you come into class. When you go to the toilet, you wash your hands. So all of this should be put into place so that you educate the children, because if you just leave it to flow, as you say, some might wash, some might not wash, but if you have a clear plan and instructions that have to be communicated to the children, then I think they'll better follow it and make use of those buckets, like you said.
Yes, Doctor, I get the point very well. You're scoring there. My problem is this whole idea of follow-up. Do we have a mechanism to follow up regularly to know whether the schools are actually making that good use of? I get you very well.
Okay, let me come in to add to what she has said and to answer the question that you have just asked. Before we went to school, we went there and we made sure that this plan should be there. When you go there, the plan is not there. Whether the plan should be there, or if it's there, is there. If it is not there, you are not paid for that. It means that you are scoring 0 on that.
Okay.
Whether the plan is there, so there's a follow-up. So the plan that they gave, the various schools gave and show how they are going, they put the measures that they have put in place to show that this contingency and response plan is there. So if the plan is there, it is there. If it is not there, it is not there.
Okay. In terms of follow-up, it is important because this is where the performance-based financing comes in. Because how do you measure the performance? If you have this plan and then the buckets and everything is in place, then you have performed in that respect, and then you will be compensated or motivated. That's why the motivation or the financing comes, after performance. So that is one way of following up, monitoring to make sure that these things are in place, and if they are not, then you are not compensated.
Okay, it's getting interesting. Let me come to you, Shanice, and find out from you amongst these response plans. You people are also talking about psychological support, which is actually needed. How do you carry out the psychological support?
So one of the things we got for the stakeholder sessions is that some of these kids are traumatized and they feel left out at times. Let's say when it comes to maybe feeding. That's why in some schools we are thinking of how we can adjust for everybody to be on the same level when it comes to lunch break and all of that. And from what we got from the inspector during the stakeholder sessions is that they have had some training on psychosocial support, and they will provide this training to their teachers.
Okay.
So our role as supervisors is to come on the field and find out and really see that this training has been given to them.
Okay.
And see the children that they are working with and monitoring that they are having some improvement from this psychosocial support that they are
when we
giving
talk
them.
social support, I know why I'm insisting on that particular point. Because at certain moments it is like throwing water on a duck's back. You come, you do, and you go, and you think that is effective, and it's not effective. That's why I'm insisting on this particular issue. I mean, at the level of e-base, for us to be sure that we are actually sowing the seed on fertile ground. That's why I'm after. The approach is for you to ascertain that what you came and kept, that is there. What is the approach you are taking?
So that like Madam Gladys rightly said, that is where performance-based financing comes in.
Yes.
We have to assess and make sure that this is really going on. So we have sheets that they will fill for children who have those type of issues. You have to fill it and say what their problem is. Of course, these things are confidential. Only made known to the highest of hierarchy, where there will be no discrimination and all of that.
At times, I don't even believe in highest of hierarchies as far as confidentiality is concerned.
No.
Just glide on.
Yes. So we will go through these sheets and see which child has which problem, how much progress this teacher is making with this student, and if this teacher has a problem with this particular child in grooming the child or bring the child back to some normalcy. If they are having some serious problem, then we can take it to another level.
Okay.
Yes, because the type of training they'll be giving to these teachers is something quite basic. They are not professional psychologists. But if it is a really, really, really bad situation, that is where we would have to carry this thing somewhere else. We'll have to meet a professional doctor to take care of this particular child.
All right.
And let me just add something more. You know, we are dealing with little children in the primary schools, and sometimes, just a word of comfort, a word of advice, a word of encouragement, or just you offer a child maybe, a sweet, or so to say, will motivate, or a pencil. Let me not go to eating aspect, yes, or a pencil or something that will motivate a child, to be more focused and to forget about, the problems that they have. Because at times people believe that little children don't have problems, but as little as they are, many of them are affected, by this crisis. So as Free was saying, these teachers might not have professional training in psychosocial interventions, but just the basic counseling or advice or encouragement, motivation, uplifting the students, that will help them to forget about or that will mitigate whatever problems they are facing. And I also want to add that in situations where the whole all the teachers might not have the psychosocial training, it is encouraged that at least one teacher, there should be a focal point. There should be at least one person, who has some insight into counseling children, with the emotional problems, who will then lead the others, or try to guide the others on how to handle the children.
Yeah, maybe I come back to you, Shanice. What have we been doing to improve on these teachers? Because as Doctor is actually saying, quite a good number of them, they are not versed with all these, and at times it takes time for the grown-ups to even grasp what they are supposed to give to the children. Now, what have we been doing to ensure that we improve on these teachers who are supposed to handle the cases when you are not there?
All right, thank you for this question. First of all, I want to also say that the teachers too are parts, and they are also components of education as well. So it's not only the pupils who are facing these problems. So even when you go to your head teacher with a problem, you a teacher can even have a problem, and you talk about it a little. And during these coaching sessions, when they're coaching the teachers, we want them to also be calm, want to bring their spirits back as well. they have to go through some reformation again because you can't remove a stick out of someone's eye when you have a plank in your eye.
Yes.
So these teachers also need to be calm as well. So that's why that training is important for the teachers as well. When they will take it, they will feel better. They will gain some higher understanding. At least they are adults. It's easier for them to open up and talk. And then now that patience will enable them really calm down to that child and be as mellow as possible. Because some of them can be really disturbed. Like they will just maybe shout at the teacher, yell at the teacher. It may annoy the teacher. As an adult, you feel insulted. But you know what is going on. You know the problem. You know their problem. So you can easily diagnose it and just dissolve it and be done with it.
Yeah. Along the lines, have you been having some difficulties handling such cases with teachers?
No, as of now, I have not really had any serious problems. So far, they have been doing well with their pupils.
All right. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, can I also like to add that we are also encouraging that during their pedagogic seminars, teachers are always having seminars. They should try to include slots or presentations on this psychosocial care and support to students, because that will now reach out to a wider number of teachers who will, have this training.
We want to say we are still on to Abakwa FM 99.0, and we are talking education, and we are so open to you people here. We are very much ready to receive questions from you. And the question we had here was how can financial incentives help to enhance safety and security in schools? As I said, we are so happy, we are so delighted to have a team from eBase, they have been here over the past weeks, and we've been sharing ideas together, and we've been giving the opportunity for you equally to share with us. We are just catching our breath, but I want to declare that our telephone lines are on. We're just catching our breath, and when we come back, we are going to continue. I still have the team very much present here with me. To my left is Dr. Forchu Gladys. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Forchu. Okay. Yes. Sorry. At times you are afraid of pronouncing somebody's name wrongly. Our own Jang is there, Constant, right? And then Shanice, the new face I'm getting this morning. But for now, we'll come back and we continue. We just catch our breath with a bar of music.
Uncle Jonathan was once a little child. He went to school today. My president, Uncle Oyedepo, was once a little child. He went to school today. A great minister, Auntie Okonji-Iweala, was once a little child. She went to school today. Ambassador, education is the key. Education is the power. Education is the key. Education is the secret. Education is the key.
The Ministry of Basic Education, in collaboration with the World Bank, eBase Africa, HIDEX, seeks to encourage the performance of schools through the use of financial incentives.
Me like teacher, I go like for come for school every day, meet up plenty pikin dem for class, where I go fit teach am. Education is the key.
Chai. Now which kind thing for the country so no? Every day that they shoot gun. Every day that they shoot gun. I go really like my pikin go school, come back safe. God help us.
I want to go to school and come back safe to my mother. I wish to become a doctor one day. Education is the key.
Man we lep na person we is a big book go chop tomorrow and chop fine. Oho.
Education is the key. Education is the knowledge. Education. Education is the key. 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 Education, education is the key. Uncle Rochas was once a little child. He went to school today, he's my governor. Brother Ima Okore was once a little child. He went to school today, he's my minister. Auntie Dora Kuyili was once a little child. She went to school today, ambassador. I love to get to school, to learn.
Orange vous souhaite la bienvenue chez vous. Gardez le contact avec vos proches grâce à l'arrivée de la 2G, 3G dans les localités de Mburaka, Konabem, Ngap, Kolo et Nkundum. Nous repoussons nos limites pour vous aider à réaliser votre vie.
Orange.
You are listening to Abba FM Radio, the station at your service.
Education is the key. Education, education is the key. Education, education is the key. Education.
Really, education is the key. I don't always think that it's just the key is the key and the king at the same time. Because when you are the king and you have the key, you glide on, and you glide on with the world very, very much. We are back here with our guests, 3 of them, and a while ago they were talking about this contingency plan. I mean, it was just a blanket way they introduced it. I want them to help us break it down. Maybe they tell us. I'll just go down the table. Tell us the plans. At least we'll talk about the COVID, those for COVID, and then the safety plan. Shanice, let me start with you.
Okay, so these contingency plans are things like...
But before we go on, we just want to remind our listeners that our telephone lines are on. They can interact, they can give us 1 or 2 words. Maybe they have questions to pose to us. The telephone lines are 674-732-580, 674-732-580, and 658-522. 437 674-732-580, 658-522 437. Okay, yes, Shanice.
Okay, so like I was saying, this contingency plan, this is just a risk mapping of the entire security situation of the school. That is the school located uphill, downhill?
On the mic.
How exposed are they to attacks? How prone are they to attacks, and how often these attacks may or may not happen? Yes, and then you draw a plan according to the situation that you have in your location.
Okay. Maybe I turn to Doctor before I come down to...
Okay. Do we just go ahead with the...
we are talking about
safety issues.
Yes. Yes, safety before we come back to COVID, no problem.
Okay. Okay, like Free has said, you take your local realities into consideration when drawing a plan. For example, she talked about the topology of the area. For example, if it's on a hill or in a valley, or if the roads are narrow, if the bushes there are bushes, around. So what do you do in order to help children to be safe? For example, you can cut down the bushes, you can widen the path, so that the children to mitigate the idea of people jumping out from the bush and either kidnapping or following the children. And then, for example, if there is no fence, the school could decide to build, even a makeshift fence, made up of the raffia leaves and so on. That would help at least protect the school and the children inside to a certain extent. So that is one of the aspects of the contingency plans against attacks.
Okay.
Come back.
Yeah, you are definitely going to come back. I still come back to you, Shanice.
Okay. Following up with what Madam Gladys said, so from the stakeholder sessions, we had a story that was being expressed by the PTA president, saying that there was a child who went to ease himself at the toilet and got kidnapped around that area. Now, when I look at the situation from the story he is telling me, around that toilet, it is bushy. There is it is hidden, like it is good for a quick tactic of some sort. So, at the very least, the school should make their plan in such a way that they minimize these risks, so that they can see ahead of them. If there is an attack coming from afar, and you have trees or bushes blocking you all around, you can't see a thing. You'll be outweighed, you'll be outnumbered, you'll be at risk. Yeah. Yes. So that's just to add some flesh to what you said.
And in relation to that, this specific example, I think children can also be sensitized on how to react in such situations.
That's what I was just wanting. I just dropped it down
tell
there.
Tell them that they should shout. Or if possible, you could give the child a whistle when he's going to he or she is going to the toilet, so that in case of any surprises, you can blow the whistle or shout or attract the attention of the school
authorities.
Community, yes, in any way.
Yeah, because at times, as you see, she gave a very solid example here, where somebody went to the toilet and got kidnapped. You imagine that you are going to ease yourself and then you run into more trouble. You will have remained in class and maybe defecated in class. That's even better to control. Now, that fear factor, the children, when once you alert them, they know that such a thing can happen. At times it drives in some fear in them. They are like, well, this whistle is because I'm afraid of something. Do we have a way out of trying to tell them that it's just an alert system? It's not like you handle it with when once you have it, there's fear in you.
So this is the reason why we have that psychosocial support. So even if they say there are specific troubled children, but all of us are troubled. So once in a while, there's this general counseling that they will give to all the pupils, that this is how we will be doing it. And just the mere fact that you, the child, sees that, oh, my school is clean, is cleared around, I'm in a fence, that fear reduces, at the very least, psychologically in your mind. You already feel some safety. It's just like when you go to bed in Bamenda, you know how cold it is. When you cover your blanket, you feel secure, you feel safe, you feel warm. So I can call it a blanket, a life jacket for you.
Okay. All right. Anyway, you already spoke about hygiene, hand cleaning, water. I think that falls under the plans of under COVID, if I'm not wrong. Except you are throwing in something. Okay. No. Now. Yes, madam. Let's come back to you.
Can I add something about the fear?
That fear factor.
Yeah. Whether I would like it or not, even the most little children who understand what is going on know that there is insecurity, there are risks. When they hear even a balloon burst, some of them will start running under the bed, and so on and so forth. So the children are all aware of this, but like Free said, it is important to help mitigate this fear. And you are telling them all these measures. It's important to tell them that it's not because we are expecting for sure that it will happen, but it's just in case. So they should not really be afraid, but it's just for them to be ready in case something like that happens. And also important information like not walking alone, walking in a group, or I don't know, not talking to strangers if you're alone, or even if you're in a group, to elderly people who you don't know, and so on and so forth. So those are some security measures that we'll have to inculcate in the students to prevent them from, kidnap and.
And if I may add before you step in, Njang, this whole aspect of somebody you meet just around the schoolyard and he's offering you a sweet and whatsoever, and you are just taking from an unknown, very, very dangerous and slippery trap. Back to you.
Okay, I just want to cue in from what Madam Gladys just said, that the children, they are already aware of what is going on in our communities. Yes, in our communities. When we went down for the workshop, we had a workshop with the pupils. So
closer to the mic a bit.
Yes. I was really shocked that most of the people are even used to. They are used to the situation. So it will not cause any fear in them because they are already used to what is going on. And when they have something like the whistle, it's instant making them to feel secure. Okay. Yes, to feel more secure. I don't think that it can cause fear in them based on the discussions that we had with them and what they were saying. It was nothing to them again. They don't. So only those whistles that they will put in place, it will instead make them to be feeling more secure in their various schools.
Now, that like in a friendly environment, or did you notice that gap? That should we put a generation gap between them? Each time you approach them, and even though you say they were almost getting used to the whole system. I mean, you discuss with them in that friendly manner, mother, father, child. And
that the way we discussed with them in that motherly and fatherly love, the children were open. They did not see any like a gap. Yes, like the gap is that they feel like there is a gap between them and any persons.
What about the school authorities? There are some areas, some authorities I don't know how, may feel like you are usurping their powers. You are like overstepping into their toes or their shoes.
No. That we did not really see that. Instead, they were very happy. Yes, the school authority. They were very happy that that PBF has come in to throw more light on what, because they have been hammering on this. And we came in again to throw more light. So the school authorities, they were instead very, very happy with this when we came. When we went down to to Fundong.
Okay.
This workshop. And in Manfe too.
Wow. So it's like you dealt already with the northwest and in the southwest, because you talk of Fundong, that's the northwest,
yes,
right?
That's where we are. Yes, we are working in Boyo.
Now, attendance. Can you just summarily just tell us briefly the turnout Fundong, then the turnout in Manfe?
Okay. Before these schools, the schools that we are working with, 12 schools in Boyo and 12 in Manfe.
How many?
Before we went 12 in Boyo and 12 in Manfe, as we have been saying. Yes, we have been saying this. So we were taking these schools based on the enrollment that they were having. Yes, that they were having. And when you want to even pay for performance, we are paying for enrollment, like the increase in enrollment. If there is an increase in enrollment, you are having a bonus for that.
Okay.
Yes. Like when we started with this program, we are having access and retention. That is, you bring people and make sure that they stay in that school. They don't go back. So from this, the feedback that we have been getting from the field is showing that the attendance, the enrollment of the various schools that were selected for this program are increasing.
It's interesting.
Yes.
It's interesting, and I want to believe that there are prospects for the program to go deeper into the hinterlands. Am I wrong?
No, you are right. You are very, very right.
Okay. We've got much to do, but time may soon tell us, ring a bell somewhere. Let me come to you, Shanice. Can you tell us the relationship between the contingency plan and warning or the alert system? Because I think they are two different things.
So I'm glad this is coming immediately after we are talking about this fear that is in pupils. So most often than not, let me use a story, because a story really tells us what is happening. So what we got from a pupil in one of these stakeholder sessions is when they are, in her own words, she said, when they are shooting, I am scared and I cannot find my junior sister. Everybody is scattered all over school and I am afraid. So because of this, because there is no contingency plan, there is no alert warning system, everybody is going to be running up and down scared, and there will be no order. And they are more prone to being, in fact, they are open to stray bullets at that point. So this contingency plan will make you know that already, if this thing is happening in school, we should lie down. If we hear shooting, we should lie down on the floor, or we should pack to one corner of the class. That is why your location of your school is also important, and how the school is laid out, how it's structured. There are more there are classes which will be more open to that type of attack, and others that won't be. You understand? So this alert warning system would bring into play the contingency plan.
Okay.
The alert warning system, let's say for example, if it's a whistle, when I blow that whistle in school, all the teachers in the various classes already know that they should tell their pupils to lay down and lock their doors.
Okay.
Lock your doors, lay on the ground, and if you are having your windows open, you close them.
Okay.
Or you park the children to one side. Yes, so that is the relationship between the alert system and the contingency response plan.
It's interesting because when once children get that sound, that scary sound, the euphoria, instead of, like you have said, come back together, lay down on the floor of the class. You know, when they get it, at times they are scared. Peter is going left, John, Mary going right, and north, south, and east.
Was looking for the
Junior sister, yes.
That is, it's interesting. If we keep on asking this particular area, this particular question, it's because we need to differentiate the plan itself and the alert system, because the alert system is just, as I can understand, is just to alert the children that something extra is taking place. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. You're spot on.
All right. Let's get a participant on our telephone lines and hear from him or her. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, this is Constance calling from the
Constance, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you. I just want to give a shout out to the team on board. They are doing a great job.
Wow.
And give my question. How does the ability of the contingency plan, what role does the ability of the contingency plan play on the quality of education? Thank you very much.
Constance, that's a nice one. What role does the contingency plan play on education? Am I correct? I think that's it. All right. Yes.
Yes.
Who takes over the cue?
I'll take it. So the first thing is this: once you already know where you are, you can detect the amount of or let me say the weight of the insecurity. You can weigh it already. Because most often than not, when this insecurity started at the beginning, when they just hear gunshot, everybody is gone home for like 1 week, 2 weeks,
sometimes months,
or even months, losing school for such a long time. But now we have already monitored the situation. We already know how it works. At least, I know there's some uncertainty, but to a greater extent, we already understand how it is going. So because of this, we can keep children in school for longer. Yes, we are reducing that time that they go home and they are scared and they stay at home for all that time, losing school. We can already plan ahead that, okay, we have a contingency response plan. Let's say, for example, we detect that this risk is high, and the teacher in charge with the whistle knows that the risk is high. You can say, blow the whistle 3 times. It tells that it is high. You can already calm the children down in class and tell them that don't come to school for 2 days.
Okay.
Don't come to school for 2 days. Do assignment in reader, this, and that, and go home with it.
Okay.
We can already mitigate. You can already assess the situation and buckle up and prepare better for the future.
Okay.
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Before I come to you, let me begin with doctor before I come to you.
Thank you. Another point is liaising with the parents. You know, when the school is suspended, for example, for 1 week or 2 weeks, you know, you already know ahead of time, or you plan that in the event of, this lockdown, how do we manage the educational, pedagogic, or teaching or learning within this period? So you already put a plan that you ask the teachers, to get ready with or to keep assignments and other exercises that you can send home to the parents, and then you communicate with the parents if you can through phone and so on, so that the children will not be idle, during this period. That will help to catch up, so that the quality of learning is not
wasted.
Yes.
It's not wasted.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. I just wanted to add to that. This contingency plan has really come in to improve on the quality of education, because this plan is not like only the teachers know about they know about that plan. The parents too are aware.
Yes.
So when they know, when when the pupils of that school, of a particular school or the schools, they go back home when they were going back, that there is danger. There's danger. They already know, the teachers too, they have already communicated, and they know that they have to work with their children at home, and that is improving the quality of education.
That's what makes it interesting. When the children come back, do you realize some change when you go back for outreach? Do you realize that there's been some change while they were home, trying to practice what you taught?
Yes, obviously there's change, because the parents too, because of this program, because this is really coming because PBF went down there, went down there. So the parents, they are aware that education is the key and the king, as you said.
Yes.
So, and they are ready to support their children where they were failing with their pupils or their children at home. Because of PBF, they make sure that they follow up on the lessons that the teachers gave to the pupils to take back home. So there is a great change. Even the parents too, they create more time to spend, because in education, 25% is in school, but 75% is at home.
Yes.
So the quality of education is really improved as this plan has come in place.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you, Doctor. I know where I'm coming to you. Now, we are facing a situation where for some years children have been at home, and the language power is, should I say, dwindling, being killed. In such situations, I don't want to believe that you know all the languages around that area. How do you tackle the children to ensure that your message is received succinctly? Do you come in with the Bookology of England or your University of Oxford and whatsoever, or you subtle down yourself, and when you go down, lingua franca, which one do you use?
Okay, I thank God that where I am a supervisor, that is my home, my hometown.
Okay, you can make use of the mother tongue.
So I can make use of the mother tongue. And two, the parents of these children, most of them that we have come across as PBF supervisors, they're educated.
All right.
Yes, they're educated. That even when now you speak in the mother tongue, they'll be able now to explain to the children in the mother tongue and come back now to English.
Okay.
To tell them that this is what we are saying. We say like this in the mother tongue, and in English, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
So this program, so when it came, we were like looking for people to that they will better work. They will better work, and that is why I find myself in Boyo. That they will better work, that you better be able to handle the situation there. Because if it was that I am not a native of that place, it would be difficult for me to work there. Yes. So that is this program, the PBF really came so that the quality of education should improve.
Okay, it's interesting. Doctor, we are just barely some 6 minutes away from closure. Your challenges?
The challenges, with implementing this project or this program in the school, number one is the insecurity itself. Because remember that even before we started, there was already 2 weeks short lockdown, and we had to start late, and then other challenges, still because of the insecurity, to go down to the field, it's not obvious, because sometimes you plan to go and roads are blocks and so on, and then but apart from that, there's a lot of cooperation and acceptance of the program. And even though for the financial aspect of it, it's also slow, but we are hoping that everything will be rectified and, things will move on normally.
Interesting. To my right, the challenges, let me begin with you, Madam Jan.
Okay. The challenges that I faced with this, like under safety and security, to have a fence in most of the schools is difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult to have a fence, because at this point in time, this crisis time, it's good that people should be in a school that is having a fence. That is one of the, and to have a fence is it has to,
it's demanding
it has a reasonable sum of money to do that, to put a place in a fence. Another one is that even the security guard too, is a security guard in school. Most of the teachers too complain that when they see a security guard to be in school, the security guard will be like, am I really going to be safe there? Are you sure something bad will not happen to me? Yes, so
okay.
some of the challenges.
Back to you, Shanice. Yeah, the challenges so far.
So it is just like Madame Odette said. The issue for now is that we would love to provide fences, but this is just the pilot phase of the project. This is still the pilot.
Yes.
We are still trying to see what the issues are. And all of these challenges that we are naming right now is to enable us do better in the scale out, to make it more efficient and suiting to our settings.
Okay, I just begin with you. You are just a word to those listening to you on the airwaves of Abakwa FM this morning. What eBase is actually doing?
So, what I have to say is, I encourage everyone to send their children to school. Education is the key.
Okay.
Without education, it's like living without air. It's like you're breathing, but air is not going down.
Even those who are in the around the Eskimos,
so
they still
let's
have
not
air.
just live to survive. Let us live and be happy.
All right.
I know it is hard, but be happy.
It is hard, but be happy. Madam Njang, Odette?
Okay. My take-home message to the general public is that, as she rightly said, that parents should make sure that they send their children to school. Why? PBF has come in. So why should any child be left back at home?
Yeah.
So make sure your children go to school, because so that this program will be scaled out. When it is scaled out, everyone, all the schools will benefit from this. It will not be as if there are
some that are benefiting while others are not benefiting.
So everybody will benefit. If not, it should not only be the schools that are already existing in this program. Other schools should copy these examples.
Yes.
All these things that we are going to make sure that your school should have a contingency plan, so that when we are coming, when PBF now when it is scaled out, we come to your school, you will not have any problem there. We are coming, you are already just having your bonuses.
Yeah.
Will be coming.
Plan before action.
Yes.
Doctor?
Yes, I know that it is obvious that parents are concerned not only about the safety, but about the life, of their children. They would prefer a child who is alive and not educated when it comes to it than sending a child to school, to face, imminent problems. But PBF has come to try to mitigate that problem through this aspect of safety and security. That is why it is trying to encourage schools, to be safe and secure, so that parents who send their children will be more confident to send their children to school with little or no fear that something bad will happen to them. So parents send their children to school. Thank you.
I want to extend great thanks to all of you for being with us, for the contributions that you people brought in. I want to extend a special thanks to those who listened and those who participated, especially Madame Constance, who called in and chipped in a question. I think that you did your best to alert and to educate the public, and that's just what we are out here for. It's all aimed at improving on our education. It's all aimed at building a better tomorrow, at a better future for our children. We had wonderful contributions from the team that came in from eBase. Okwen Shanice was here present, Jangodate was here present, and Dr. Fortune Gladys. All of them joins this team. Tuza Ezekiel, who manned the technical keyboard. Yonga B. Perpetua, control to the books. For coordination, my name, Shay. God bless. Have a nice time.
Time now 11 o'clock for morning.
Una use Orange money for take pay una Orange bonus credit or for take pay una bill them and una fit share 1 million megabyte internet credit every day.
Orange.
You are listening to Abba FM Radio, the station at your service.
Uncle Jonathan was once a little child. He went to school today. My president, Uncle Oyedepo, was once a little child.